We are Islamic Republic, Part 46. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There is a very interesting comment on my YouTube post. It says, Sir, we are not Islamic Republic, we are a Punjabi Republic. Well, it was a comment by one of my students in English language 1123 class. Yes, young man, I agree with you, and I call it an exciting comment on my post. Wish you best of luck. We've been talking about the killings at Amritsar. Well, the British did something horrible, and it's been so long, but nobody can ever forget it. It was such a dreadful event. So, more than a century has passed by, but it remains fresh in the memories, and even today, historians, politicians, diplomats have been trying to clear their positions. So we continue. Who was to blame for the killings at Amritsar, Jallianwala Bagh? The effect of all this on Indian opinion was disastrous. Historians argue that this massacre and the reaction to it by both the British and the Indians ended any chance for British to gain the trust of the Indian peoples. For many Indians, the way in which the British behaved towards them in their own country seemed racist. For example, the reaction by so many Britons to the deaths of the Indians at Amritsar in Jallianwala Bagh massacre was a proof enough that British did not see them as their equals. It was now a matter of when and not if the British would leave. Source C testimony of General Dyer. General Dyer spoke. The situation was very, very serious. I had made up my mind that I would do all my men to death if they were to continue the meeting. Question. Does it or does it not come to this? You thought that some striking act would be desirable to make people, not only in Amritsar, but elsewhere, consider this position more correctly? Well, General Dyer speaks. Yes, I had to do something very strong. The question by the jury. And for the reason you have explained to us, you had made up your mind to open fire at the crowd for having assembled at all. The answer to the jury by General Dyer, quite right. Well, these were the questions asked by the jury to General Dyer, and these are the extracts of the evidence given to Hunter Committee in 1920 as they investigated the events at Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar. Using evidence, question about Amritsar. How reliable is the testimony of General Dyer in finding out what happened at Amritsar, Jallianwala Bagh? Explain in your own words what, according to the testimony, Dyer's motives were for opening fire. Using the information given above, explain the importance of Jallianwala Bagh incident in British Indian relation. Why did the Britain not give India self-government in 1919? If Britain had made a serious move towards a self-government, then the violence and agitation that lasted for the next 28 years would have been avoided. But in London, political leaders, supported by middle-class opinion, were determined to hang on to this important part of the British Empire. They were also confident that they could crush opposition. Source D. British determination to keep India. It's a very interesting source and we'll go along with it. It is by British Prime Minister Lord George, 1919.